For this video, I'm going to show you how to make an ITip extension from a keratin tip, U-tip, flat tip. So when you get the U-tip extensions, say you ordered these by accident, or say you want to make the ITips in beaded extensions rather than the keratin tip, you take your keratin tip, which a lot of times comes in a U-tip. Sometimes it's flat, like I said, the flat tip. This one's a U-tip because it's shaped like a U. Okay, so to make this into an ITip, you're going to, first I like to trim off a little bit because sometimes they're pretty thick. So trim off a little bit of the tip. It's a little smaller, there's not as much glue. You're going to take your iron. This is an extension iron. If you don't have one of these, you can use a flat iron. Take an old flat iron or a cheap flat iron that you're not going to use for hair. This is a mini one, like a travel one that I use. It's pretty cheap and simple. You're going to take your tip and just heat it up. Melt it down. You can swipe it a couple times just so that it doesn't get clumpy. Pull the glue through to the end. Let it cool down for a minute, and then roll it into like a shoelace tip. So it's going to look like that. Now you want to kind of press it down and form it so it's straight and not bumpy. And then you're going to cut the tip off, and you have an ITip that looks like a shoelace. Then you want to take your little bead that you're going to use for the tips, for the microbead, and make sure that it fits. So you can take your little bead, whatever type of beads you like to use, and see that it fits. If it doesn't fit for some reason, you can always do it again. Take your little flat iron and heat it up one more time. You can swipe it again. If you swipe it, it kind of pulls out some of that glue so it's not too thick, and it also smooths it. Make sure it's not too hot, and roll it into a shoelace tip. Each time you do it, it kind of gets a little smaller, so if you need it smaller for your little microbead, you can do it again. And make sure it fits. And there's your tip. I'll do one more in a different color so you can kind of see it a little bit better maybe. Take your U-tip, which looks like this. Trim some of the top off. If you have this tool, it kind of fits in the little groove, and you melt it down. If you don't swipe it, it's kind of like that, so it helps to just wipe off some of the glue. Swipe it through. Makes it smoother too. And then you go to roll it. And trim. You can press it down again. And then make sure it fits in your little bead, like so. And melt it down and swipe it through. Roll it into a shoelace. And that's how you do it.